want this one?
Yeah, I'll just
Yeah?
look down.
Okay.
That's all good. Yeah, it's all okay. You could also hold it, I suppose. I love summer. I love summer. I have since a kid with vacations. We would tour the Northeast, hitting up amusement parks and going on roller coasters. And then, of course, there was summer camp, and I spent many seasons working there. Now it's beaches, the pool, my summer trek up to Cape Cod. For me, it's a chance to recharge, to rejuvenate. I hope it is for you as well. But it cannot all be breezy. That's what we learn in our Torah portion, Parashat Chukat-Balak. It's a double portion. And it has this interesting story, almost an aside, like sort of stuck in there. I always wondered how it got into the Torah. Because Balak, the king of Moab, sees the Israelites, he sees how numerous they are, and so he wants to curse them. So he goes to Balaam, a non-Israelite prophet, and he asks Balaam to curse them. Balaam asks God, God says no, so Balaam says no. Balak presses, so God says sure. Balaam goes, God gets mad. It's this whole thing. There's a talking donkey. But then, eventually, Balaam prophesies 4 times. And he doesn't curse the Israelites like Balak wants, but he blesses them, including the famous prayer from our morning liturgy, Ma Tovu. Now, our Jewish tradition wrestles with this guy, Balaam. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? I mean, he doesn't actually curse Israel. He in fact blesses them. But Jewish tradition tends to paint him as a bad guy because he never says no on his own accord. He needs God to tell him no. He knows God doesn't really want to curse Israel, but he keeps pushing. He keeps trying. He would seemingly go along with Balak's plan. He would be A-okay cursing Israel, if not for God telling him not to. And sure, he changes his ways, he blesses instead of curses, but does he really change? Is there any actual growth there? Rabbi Joshua Minkin, who is a rabbi and chaplain and doctor of ministry in New York City, Rabbi Minkin says that no, Balaam doesn't actually really change. He compares Balaam the prophet to Jacob, our patriarch, because Jacob wrestles with this ish, this man, which many interpret as wrestling with an angel. And Rabbi Minkin says, well, Balaam also wrestles, not with an angel, but with himself. It's a moral wrestling. Will his scruples win out? And on the surface, yes, he does seem to wrestle the right way, right? He knows it's wrong, but he goes out anyway, but he eventually blesses instead of curses. This could be seen as wrestling and coming to the right decision. But Rabbi Minkin disagrees. He says, there's a clear difference between Jacob's interaction and Balaam's. Jacob wrestles with his past, subjecting it to a critical analysis and emerging transformed, from crooked Yaakov to straight Yisrael. Balaam submits, but never truly engages. His behavior is changed, but underneath he is the same person, out to make a quick buck. Like a crooked accountant, he is honest only as long as he thinks he may get caught. In other words, Jacob goes through this genuine, real soul searching, and he comes out the other side a better person. Yes, he is still flawed, but he is no longer Jacob. He's Yisrael, he's Israel, and he's transformed, he's better. Balaam goes through no such change. Yes, his behavior changes, but only because he knows God is watching. He does the right thing not because it's right, but because he knows he'll get in trouble if he doesn't do it. Rabbi Minkin continues by citing the Haftarah, the accompanying reading from our Torah portion from the book of from the prophets. And Rabbi Minkin says the final words of Balak's Haftarah are "Walk with your God," from the prophet Micah. Walk with, not run away. Rabbi Minkin says, walk with, not run away from. Engage. Let us not be afraid to look critically at ourselves and engage in the internal dialogue that leads to true change. So paired together, Balaam shows us that surface level change is not enough. And the prophet Micah reminds us that we are to walk with, not run away from, our conscience. When we reflect and look at ourselves with a critical eye, then this can lead to true transformation, just like with Jacob. We're entering the summer, which, as I said, what I hope is a light, fun, relaxing break from a taxing year, at least a little bit. And while I might be preparing for the high holidays, and Gerald I know too, maybe we're not all there yet. We're not in that weighty season of self-reflection. And yet I hope we can learn from Jacob and from the prophet Micah to not forget opportunities for self-reflection, that when we face a moral dilemma, we dig deep and do the right thing for the right reasons. So may we have a summer of rest and rejuvenation and a summer of reflection and growth. And let us say, Amen. We take a few moments to think about the ways we, perhaps, can reflect and grow this summer.